We are thrilled to have among us Eric Garcetti, USA Ambassador. Please give a huge round of applause. I'll take opportunity to introduce Mr. Eric Garcetti in front of you, the 26th and current ambassador from the United States of America to India. Mr. Garcetti is public servant, educator, and diplomat with a remarkable history in civic leadership. Having been elected as Los Angeles' youngest ever mayor in 2030, he definitely knows a thing or two about achieving things at young age. As ambassador, Mr. Garcetti continues to strengthen US-India relation with focus on partnership that expand opportunity for young people. Thank you for taking out time for us, Mr. Garcetti. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Eric Garcetti, Ambassador of US.
Give it up for Radhika. Namaste, Pune. Aap kaise hai? How you doing? So it is so great to be here, and I am so excited to be here as well. Let me start by thanking GOYN, GOYN, which is creating a network around the world. Make some noise if you're here from Africa. Hold on, hold on. If you're from Africa, make some noise. Si ustedes están de Latinoamérica, gritan. If you're here from America, make some noise. And if you're here from India, make some noise. Jai Hind and Jai Ho. I'm so excited to be here. I want to thank the additional commissioner, the municipal commissioner, all of our funders, Jamie, my friend Stephen Patrick, but I want to invite somebody, two very special people up. Alex and Tanil are from my hometown. We're all from Hollywood. Have you ever heard about Hollywood? So we're from Los Angeles, and I want to center two youth that are part of this network and let you hear something from them. But before we do that, everybody was doing different chants. In Los Angeles, we say, I love LA. So when I say I love, you say LA. I love. LA. I love. LA. I love. LA. So from Hollywood to Pune, we've got two superstars that are here, and I want you to hear a short something about their stories. Alex?
I am so honored to be here with all of you today. It's amazing to be a part of the GOYN network. As someone who grew up in the foster care system, I'm so honored to just have the opportunity to stand next to our mayor, our former mayor, and with Tanil. We've been through so much to get here, and it's been incredible to be in this space with all of you, and I'm really excited for the next few days.
Yes, it was a journey, planes, trains, automobiles to get here. I'm so grateful to be a part of the GOYN network. I did go to Mombasa last year, so hey, shout out to my people from Mombasa. It was so great to connect and be here. And you guys welcomed us so well. The drums outside, like y'all did it up. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
These are two stories of thousands of stories here, but give it up again for Alex and Tanil. Thank you so much for coming up here. So everybody here has a story. Repeat after me. I have a story. I can't hear you. I have a story. It's the one thing that you have that nobody else has in this room. Your story. The story of your family. The story of your challenges. The story of your tragedies and your triumphs. Raise your hand if you've ever suffered a little bit in this room. If you've gone through something difficult. If you've lost a family member. If you've overcome a disability. If you've thought that sometimes you weren't good enough. Raise your hand in here. Should be every single human hand here. Now put your hands down. Your story is also filled with beauty. It's filled with love. It's filled with hope. It's filled with your dreams. So if you've ever dreamed of something that you thought you might be able to do, or a relationship that you might be able to have, or a feeling that you might be able to hold, raise your hand up as well. And again, it's every single person in this room. So I'm going to spend just a couple minutes talking to you. I get to serve as the United States ambassador to the amazing country of India. It has been the honor of my life. We might have many countries, do desh, but ek dil, one heart. We might see people who define themselves by the borders they live in, but you have taught me that love is universal and that hope is everywhere. I've always believed that young people, as we heard today, are not the leaders of tomorrow. Cast that phrase out forever. Young people are not the leaders of tomorrow. You are leaders right here, right now, today. But leadership doesn't come easy. So I want to share with you, I've been here almost 2 years. I've traveled to 20 states here in India. I've gone all the way up to the Himalayas, down to Kanyakumari. I've gone all the way from West Bengal, all the way to the deserts of Rajasthan. And one thing that I've seen is that India, which is not just a country, it's like a continent and a civilization. It is full of so many lessons, has taught me a few things I want to share with you here today. Because I might be an ambassador. We might come from, the Indians and the Americans in the room, from the two largest democracies in the world. We might see so much that we have in common. If you just put our two countries together, 1 out of 4 people on the face of the earth, 1 out of 4 rupees and dollars in the world economy. We cause some of the problems. 1 out of 3 of our carbon emissions in the world come from the US and India. And about 45% of all the PhDs in the world come from just 2 countries. We share so much, but India has taught me these things. And I want to see if you will participate with me in learning these 4 lessons. So first, who's ever been told they couldn't do something? Either by a voice inside or by somebody who said, oh no, you're a girl, you can't do that. Or you come from a poor neighborhood, you can't be that. Or somebody who just thinks you're not smart enough. Well, I want to tell you here that the most important quality you can find is called fearlessness. To live life with no fear. The next astronaut, doctor, ambassador, municipal commissioner, the next great businesswoman, all of you are in this room right now. Live life without fear. So first lesson, be fearless. I want you to say, I am fearless. With me, ready? I am fearless. Say it again, I am fearless. Okay, so never be scared. Never let somebody tell you because who you are, you can't do something. Whatever your dreams are, you can do that without fear. Lesson number 2. Now that you're fearless, sometimes we get a little arrogant. As human beings, when we have opportunities or people tell us that we're smart or good, we think we're the center of the universe. We think that everything is about us. But nothing happens in our communities, our families, our countries, and our world without everybody. That's what makes this network so special. It brings countries together, people together. So lesson number 2 is while you're being fearless, be humble. Say it with me, I am humble. One more time, I am humble. Because when you're humble, you realize, look to the person to your right now, and look to the person to your left, and look at the person behind you, and look at the person in front of you, and say thank you to them. Thank you for being a part of my world, my network now, this incredible network. You will never do anything by yourself, but if you're fearless and humble, you've got a great start. Okay, number 3. So I, for 10 years, got to run one of the coolest cities in the world, our hometown, Los Angeles, LA. It's where Hollywood is and Disneyland is. It's where Netflix is creating things that you probably consume here. It's like Bollywood, but it's on the other side of the earth. It's a place that is full of dreams and dreamers. But in Los Angeles, I also learned, before I was mayor of Los Angeles, the most important thing I could do was not what I'm doing right now. It's not learning how to give a speech. It's not being a public speaker. It's not being a professional speaker. It's being the opposite. We all need to learn how to listen, to become professional listeners, to hear the city. Now, I'm going to stop speaking for a second. I want you just to listen to this room. Just for 1 second, everybody, shh. How often in life do we take just 1 minute to listen, to hear the voices around us, to hear our cities talking to us, to maybe hear our own voice in the quiet? I used to be a teacher before I was a politician and then a diplomat. And every class I would ask the first question as a nervous teacher. And thank God for the first row, the most eager students. I'm sure there's a few of you who always sit in the first row. And I'd ask a question and I'd say, does anybody have an answer? And the first row would always raise their hands and say, pick me, please, please. And they would have an amazing, comment to give. And the next class, they'd do it again. And the third class, they'd do it another time. And then it was somewhere around the fourth class where I would ask a question. And it was always interesting. Somebody in the back, and it was usually one of the girls in the class, because girls are often better listeners than boys, women better than men, would answer that question with such thoughtfulness, such brilliance, such reflection, that the entire room would turn around, even forgetting that she had been a student, and it would change all of our thinking, including mine as the teacher. And the lesson I learned was sometimes we're pushed, especially in leadership groups like this, to be talkers, to raise our hand first, to get eager to make our point, instead of hearing the world around us and thinking and reflecting. I guarantee you that power comes not from speaking, but power comes from listening. Power comes from hearing. Power comes from sharing. Power comes from giving, not taking, not talking, but what you are willing to share with each other. So be fearless. Say, I am fearless. I am humble. And I am a listener. Those are the first three. You can do a lot of great things in the world if you're fearless. You can do a lot of great things if you are humble. You can do a lot of great things if you are a listener. But here's the last one, and it's the most important one of all. If you are somebody who knows how to use power, who is confident of yourself but not arrogant, you can make a big impact on the world. But all of those things mean nothing without this last lesson, which is to lead with love. The Russian writer Dostoevsky once said, it's easy to love humanity, right? Everybody in this room, we want peace on earth. We want a healthy environment. We want to love all human beings. But then all of a sudden, we have a classmate who annoys us, a neighbor who makes too much noise, maybe a family member that we don't like or we don't feel respected by. And suddenly the ideals that we love humanity breaks down. Dostoevsky put it this way. He said, it's easy to love humanity. The difficult part is learning to embrace your neighbor. But if you can find love in your heart, not just for the people you love today, but for people you don't know, and even better, people you don't like, If you can be the example of love in a world that is so divided and at too many wars and taking away the rights of too many young people and women and people with disabilities and poor people, then you can show the power of love combined with that fearlessness, humility, and that listening ear. So repeat after me, I will lead with love. Come on, I want to feel the love in this room. Get up. Everybody stand up for a second. You've been sitting too long. Say, I am fearless. I am humble. I am a listener. Now don't look at me, look at your neighbor and say, I am leading with love. Tell somebody you love them. Go ahead, tell them you love them. Say, I love you. I love you. We're not trying to get you married off today. Don't worry, this is not a permanent commitment. You still can date, you're young, you have a lot of years. But say, I lead with love. And I guarantee you that we will be following the leaders in this room for years and decades to come with the love that you bring, the listening that you have, the humility that you show, and the fearlessness in your heart. With that, I know that one day I will be an old man listening to an ambassador up here, a commissioner up here, somebody who was here in Pune saying, not only have we changed the world, but finally the dreams we always imagined we would see have come true because of us. Thank you, young people. Dhanyavad.